Encanto, brand new Disney animation film from Disney, in co-production, I guess he helped. But a common theme of two of the films we're speaking of this week is the man himself, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
It's a double Lin today.
It's a double Lin today.
Yes.
Love him or hate him, the man makes good music, and it's hard to deny his impact.
Catchy music, yeah.
On musicals within the current era, ever since Hamilton. This is our third Lin-Manuel Miranda either inspired or directed production, because we've had
In the Heights,
which was
he wrote the original musical and performed in. We've got this, which he wrote the songs for,
and
I think there's like a story credit to him as well.
He also helped in the story.
I think, yeah.
And he directed and also starred in as a cameo role in Tick Tick Boom.
Yes.
So this is we can't escape the man.
No. He's having a year.
Have you ever looked online at the poses and faces Lin-Manuel Miranda does in photos?
Yes, I have seen.
What a looker! What a stunner! I wish I had that ability to just look that fly without really doing much. You know, what a man. Anyway, it's directed by Jared Bush and co-directed by Brian Howard and Charisse Castro-Smith, written by Charisse Castro-Smith and Jared Bush and Brian Howard, and also helped by Lin-Manuel Miranda. The voice cast has maybe like 3 names you'll recognize, and then a bunch of other names who are just kind of there, but of course when it comes to voice acting, you're always going to want people who fit the character more and not named characters. Cough, illumination, animation, and hiring Chris Pratt. Cough ended.
Oh, you must be coming down with a cold there.
I'm furious.
Yes.
I'm furious at the man's inclusion in these films. Stephanie Beatriz, who you will recognize mostly as Rosa in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, just sang the song that you heard, which if you're like me and Stephanie Beatriz has only ever really been seen in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you won't know that she sounds like that, and actually has a very high talking voice, not the low gruff voice that she has in the show, which freaks everyone out whenever they first hear it.
I'm actually also very happy that because she's the lead character in here, she gets her time to actually provide singing. Yes. Unlike in The Heights, in which she only gets a tiny little portion of one song.
Yeah, she doesn't get much.
But I'm happy that she's got a lot to work with here.
But Stephanie Beatriz plays Mirabel, who is our main character for this film. Fun fact: this is a crucial fact for anyone listening. This is going to really help those minorities and feel those underrepresented within the films they watch really feel better. But this is actually the first Disney film to feature a main protagonist who wears glasses. So if you're
thank you IMDb trivia.
Thank you IMDb trivia. If you are a glasses wearer, I'm sure you're absolutely ecstatic to hear this information. You're crying. Your glasses are fogging up as we speak.
Yes.
You're welcome, Four Eyes. Maria Celia Botero plays Abuela. You have John Leguizamo, who plays Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. Maruo Castello plays Felix. Jessica Daro, Angie Sepedia, Carolina Gatan. I'm going to pronouncing these names is one task. I'll tell you that.
You're doing a very good job. I'll give you that.
Thank you. I like to put a Spanish twist on things to try and enhance the pronunciation of them. Anyway, Encanto is about the young girl Mirabel, who a young Colombian girl. Yes. We got it. We finally found out my guess was Peru.
Really?
Yeah, I was watching the film and I thought Peru. But it's Colombian. A young Colombian girl who has to face the frustration of being the only member of a magical family with no magical powers, which makes for a plot you would highly expect within a Disney film, as well as a entire film that you would highly expect for a Disney film. The bottom line for this is that it's very expected and kind of just a Disney film. Unfortunately.
There's a lot here that I do love. Yes. I will say that.
Yes.
There's a lot here that I love. The idea that this is a Disney film without an antagonist.
Yes.
Remember, I think it was Frozen 2. Frozen 2 had the similar thing in which there wasn't any antagonist. It was a family drama. However, Frozen 2 to me was completely boring. I didn't like it at all. Yeah. This, however, is better than Frozen 2.
Yes.
However, I still feel that the family drama as a plot isn't as strong as it needs to be.
No. Sometimes I feel like the family element is underdeveloped.
Yes.
Other times I feel it's They're trying to do too much at once. It feels
There's
like
so many characters.
there are so many characters. The way I explain it is that if it's as if you go bowling and instead of setting up those 10 pins to get a strike, you're only setting up maybe 3 or 4, but you're hitting them all down in a good execution of their the end of their arcs. But there is no start to their arcs. You are there halfway. You're meeting them in the middle.
Yes.
Which is a detriment to the film and a detriment to the way that the characters are developed. It's great that they have these issues that eventually get resolved within the end of the film. They change, they become different. There is an arc, but some characters get that. Some characters are just sidelined as side characters. And it's kind of hard to pick and choose which ones get those songs, which ones get those changes. When there are so many people and you're almost giving them all the same amount of screen time in the beginning.
Yeah.
When in reality, you should only really be focusing on 1 or 2.
And there's a few side characters that really only get maybe like a joke here and then a little bit of a line in a song. There's so many characters that feel left out, whereas the message behind the film is that everyone is important.
Yeah.
And there is a sense of like, well, there needs to be more. There needs to be more from everyone. But I do think that is and it's not a nitpick. It definitely is an issue. But I do think that's just a small thing that could have been like mended.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, is not. However, like I said, the fact that there's no antagonist, there's not a bad guy, it's refreshing for a Disney film. But what was the last Disney film for you that is actually a standout?
Coco.
I think that's Pixar. For me, it's Moana.
Yeah,
for me, it's Moana.
Jinx. Moana was a standout, but I think Moana was a standout because it was one of the better Disney films we had gotten since Princess and the Frog.
Yes, potentially, yeah.
And so getting Moana was a real nice treat. Well, we had Big Hero 6 as well.
That's good, yes, that is good.
There's like that weird midpoint in the like 2000s and the early 2010s to the mid 2010s when like Disney was on a bit of a hot streak, but they've fallen off recently.
Because after that it was Wreck-It Ralph 2, which is not good.
It wasn't good. Frozen 2.
Frozen 2 is not good.
No.
Raya.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Raya and the Last Dragon. I think it's fine.
Is it Raya? I thought it was Raya.
It could be Raya.
I remember you getting this wrong a lot.
Yes, and I will continue to get it wrong.
Correcting you all the time.
I will continue to get it wrong for years.
But there was Raya and the Last Dragon, which was very mid, according to you. Haven't seen it, but I know there's Encanto. It's a bit
more than mid. It is more than mid.
More than mid.
But yeah, it does still suffer from that same Disney element.
It does feel like things are just kind of going the same. It's the thing is that these films are great for representation. Raya and the Last Dragon was great for Asian representation. This film's great for Hispanic and Colombian representation, of course, which is great. Love to see it. Just wish there were better films,
especially for children as well to see representation. I do love that element. They go to see the film and then it's like, oh well, that is me up on the big screen. I do love that. It's just that the story behind it, I wish it was so much stronger.
I do.
It looks beautiful, though.
Oh, it does. It's Disney never falter in their animation. No. And you know it's good when I pick up on slight things. The fabric within this film, gorgeous. It's such a small detail to pick up on, but the clothes that they wear within this film are very, very important. Every character has a very unique look to them. All their outfits are very inspired by Colombian culture, the way that they use their clothes to express themselves and the way that they look and the way that they are. It's just fantastic. Mirabel's dress that she wears, she's consistently picking up the sides of it and flinging it about in while she's dancing. And it's lovely to look at because it's done so well. So the animation does not falter at all. Wouldn't have expected it to.
No.
Same with the voice cast. The voice cast is also very, very good.
Stephanie Beatrice is charming throughout the entire thing, and it's very joyous. The main character of Mirabel is really fun to watch, and she makes the entire thing a really entertaining sit through. And it's the same with the magical elements in this film. There's a lot of every side character has a different magical power. That is the plot. But then when you see the magical powers actually on the screen, they're really fun.
They are really
fun.
They're
really fun to watch and really fun to
There's a character
witness.
who's shape-shifting. The way that they animate his shape-shifting is very fun.
Yes.
They play around with it quite a lot. Like there's, like they said, a character who controls the weather, representing her emotions. Quite obvious, but they use that for a good few jokes. And it's still fun. It's still enjoyable. I don't think I was ever bored throughout the film.
No.
I never wanted it to end. It was just, well, I want, you know what I mean? But it was never, I wasn't gagging for the end of this film. It was just what it was. And I enjoyed it for what it was. The songs, none of them are memorable.
No, that's the thing. I feel like it's... Lin-Manuel Miranda is a good songwriter.
There's no doubt about it.
However, maybe we've just got so much of him so fast recently.
It doesn't... Well, the songs in this feel very traditional. They don't really exactly feel very... that Hamilton style of talking while rapping.
I feel like there's a lot of rapping and a lot of like fast-paced. I do. I feel like there's a lot of Lin-Manuel's like taste within all this thing.
Well, I guess they've used Lin-Manuel Miranda for Moana.
Yes.
And they used him for this as well.
I feel like Moana is way more traditional Disney.
Yes.
So in some ways, that might be an interesting thing for Disney to go this way.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't watch anything of Lin-Manuel Miranda, you go to see this. It's a fresh new take. Yeah. And the songs are cool and they're catchy.
There's one thing that Disney are doing with their films now that I'm enjoying a lot.
Yes.
And that is that when they are doing these song sequences, they are taking the song outside of the scene they're within and doing much more interesting visual spectacles when they're doing this. There are two songs that are doing that. The one that's sung by the strong sister Louisa, her song, the entire sequence of that is good.
Yes.
It's really, really good visually. The song is not bad either, but the visuals that you get throughout that song are great.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of the song, the best Disney song ever to exist, Lost in the Woods from Frozen 2.
Of course.
That entire sequence being a like
White Snake,
in like a White Snake Chicago style rock power ballad.
Mm-hmm.
The visuals within that are great because they harken back to that kind of like style of music video where everyone's like singing like fists in the air and it's just good.
Visual like callbacks to actual music videos that is the best thing that Frozen 2 has offered really cinema is. And I'm so glad to have saw that on the big screen.
Yes. But I like that they do that for a few songs in this and it's really really good, but excuse me, I'm not yawning. It does sometimes feel like it's all just kind of meshing, which is a bit of a shame. But I don't expect the same brilliance that we've been getting for Disney for so many years at this point. I'm just expecting kind of this, and this is borderline, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we'll get much further than where we're at now unless Disney really push the boat out.
Well, we've had multiple Disney renaissances now.
We have.
So, like, there was Disney, like, at their peak greatness when they originally started and then just going hit after hit, which we're now seeing remakes for all of them.
Yeah.
Then in the 90s, there was Little Mermaid, Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, like, another, like, hit after hit.
And then they went down again in the 2000s.
And then it came back with, like, Big Hero 6, Wreck-It
Ralph, Moana,
like...
Frozen.
Yeah, exactly,
They came back with the big hitters.
Another renaissance. So I think we're now in that period.
We're now in the dip.
That it's like... There will be great films. This is a great film.
You know what I think will be really, really good? The Turning Red Disney film they're having. I don't know if that's Pixar or if that's just Disney. I actually can't remember.
This is the 60th Disney animated film as well. It says at the very beginning... Oh, and there's also a short film before this starts, which I actually really enjoyed.
Turning Red is Pixar, ignore me.
But yeah, this is the 60th Disney animated film, which blows my mind... knowing that Tangled was the 50th, and that was that long ago, 2008,
right?
What? No, I think it would have been later than that, surely. I don't know. But yes, I think it's a decent enough Disney film. Better than how do you pronounce it? Raya?
You saw the film, Ryan.
Yes, I know. Raya.
It was 2010. Tangled was 2010.
Last Dragon, better than that one. But
better than that one, huh?
And better than Frozen 2 as well.
You remember Onward? Oh, that was Pixar.
That was
and Soul
Pixar.
was Pixar.
A brilliant film. But yes. Encanto.
What's the next?